Hello, everyone. We are back with another episode of the Young Flesh podcast. And this week, we're going to be talking about tattoos and taboos, as Raymond called it. He suggested, I think, a couple episodes ago. And this is obviously because of my new tattoo that I got a few weeks back. And yeah, any initial thoughts on tattoos in general, guys?
They're nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, simple word to describe it. Sure.
I think they're pretty cool. I mean, I'm nothing against tattoos. Like I want a tattoo, but at the same time, I'm also like, bruh, that shit permanent. Unless I'm trying to spend like a lot to get it removed. So, like, there's always this thought of like, I gotta make sure I get the artist like correct, and really know what I want. But yeah, I think tattoos are pretty nice. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just based on what you guys said so far, we could start off this conversation by talking about how to kind of decide if you want a tattoo to begin with, right? Since it is, a pretty major decision. Even financially speaking, it could be. It's not necessarily a cheap thing to do, right? Especially on a nice one.
It's not cheap.
Or if you want one that's bigger, more from a a actual solid artist. But yeah, just it's in so many ways, it's not a decision that you should just lightly make, right? It's not something you want to end up regretting and having to deal with the consequences of not wanting the tattoo that's already on you already, right? So, I mean, I have some experience to share for sure and some thoughts on it, but I don't know if you guys, as people who don't have tattoos, like how would you think about it if you have thought about it when you're talking about getting a tattoo, like the first tattoo?
I don't know. Never really thought my first tattoo was gonna be, or like would be, But like I feel like I see myself imagining how it would look like when I got like all the tattoos that I would want, but I don't know which one I would get first,
You could get
I don't know.
multiple, back to back. There are people who start off
I
getting a
guess you
whole
could, but,
sleeve,
like,
and it
I
takes a
just don't
while
even
to
know where
get done. And
I
very
just don't even know where you would
expensive,
start,
Uh-huh.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
Raymond, any
Hard to
thoughts
say
on
because
that?
I've always been really on the fence about it. Because I've really wanted to get some, but I don't know. Just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big commitment to get a tattoo. I don't know. Well, like I've known like what I want for a while. Like I know like I have this friend and she got like a really nice like dragon tattoo.
Oh.
Like on the side.
Yeah.
And it's like big too. It's like this big.
Oh, so that's like the whole side then. Right from like the hip bone up to like, all the way up the side to like the upper ribs, I guess.
Yeah. So, and like I know where she got it, and because I've always like before seeing that, I've always wanted like a dragon tattoo, like maybe on my arms, like. So I don't know, like, but like so like the kind of like the dragon kind of like it's like around my arms and kind of leads to my chest, and that's kind of like what I've been wanting for a while, but I just haven't had like a solid I guess like an idea for an artist. But ever since she got it, I was like, oh shit, bro, like that's sick. And yeah, like apparently that's his specialty, and he does basically all the dragon tattoos for shop, and he changes it like he changes it up like all the time. So like no tattoo is ever the same.
Mm-hmm.
He designs it all. It's pretty nice. But yeah, like I feel like that's probably the first one I get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Mm.
definitely very interesting for sure, and the thought process totally makes sense because I know for both my own experience as well as kind of looking at advice from either tattoo artists or people who are tattoo enthusiasts and have gotten many tattoos. And one thing that is very similar between what you're saying as well as what I just described is that you definitely want to know kind of where you want the tattoo and what you want to get, and that's kind of the first step, right? So there has to be an idea there already, and then it's kind of having uh, the design or at least something that's a reference to the design, something that's going to be based off of, something that's going to be very similar to the final design that you're going to have on your body, right? So to have something like that, know what it looks like, and being able to look at the design and really like it for a while, right? To actually be able to look at it and basically on a daily basis, and hey, I do actually like this, right? Because when you have that experience, when you know that you like it and have gone through that, it's much less likely for you to end up regretting the tattoo once it's already on your body, because you're kind of used to seeing that on a regular basis and used to what the design looks like, right? And like I said, you already know why you want it and what you want, and you also know like where on your body you want it. So those are kind of the first steps. I would say that's what people would commonly say, including myself. And then finding artists would be the next major step. Having someone to talk to and be like, hey, I know this is where I want it. I know this is the design I want, and this is kind of the reference. This is the idea of it, and these are kind of the key features that needs to be included. And then you kind of work together to come up with a design that is what you want, is similar to what you have in your mind, and maybe really close to the reference you have, or maybe actually quite a bit different, but still maintain the key elements that you're wanting. And that part could be difficult to find the right artist at the right time, right? You could talk to tattoo shops, for example, and tell them kind of a general idea, and they kind of match you up with an artist who does that type of stuff well. And if they don't have anyone there, sometimes they'll even refer you to a different shop or different artist, right? Because, people want to get tattoos, especially in, I guess, populated places, and people are going to have business, and they also don't want to have a bad reputation, right? So they, generally speaking, artists want to do jobs that actually matches their style and what they like. So having those conversations and finding the right person is a process, but at the same time, it's not something that, if you actually took the time, it's not something that you'll mess up badly. You should be able to find a decent person, I would say, but it is a process and definitely does take some time. And then from there, you're pretty much set up to actually get the tattoo. It's just kind of the final bit of making sure that, okay, that's kind of the design that what we're gonna go with, and I'm happy with that. And this is what I want to do, and it makes sense. So it's definitely a process for sure, from when you first start thinking about getting a tattoo to actually getting it. Um, Obviously, you could just decide on a whim to just go to a tattoo shop and get some random tattoo, but that's also much more easy for people to regret, unless you're a certain type of person, right? Some people are just gonna spontaneous like that and don't really care, and the tattoo doesn't necessarily mean much, and they actually really like the aspect of just kind of getting it spontaneously and on a whim like that. But I would say for someone who's actually taking it more seriously and thinking about all these things. It's definitely a process.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely takes a lot of planning. And you also have to plan like not only the tattoo but like the budget as well.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing like, because a big piece like is gonna be at least $1,000, especially like if I, because the artist is in Toronto, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I'm definitely looking at 1,000 or more for the piece. Um, I don't know, but I heard from a friend that if you just stay
Mm-hmm.
still and basically do the tattoo all at once, they do give you a discount because normally people don't do that.
Well, the thing
And
is,
the artists appreciate it.
it's because they charge by the hour, right? That's kind of the general idea of it. So if you're able to stay still and just do that, it makes their life easier. They're able to do it well and do it, quicker, and overall they appreciate that, like you're saying. So that's kind of why, right? I know from my experience, the place I went to in Vancouver for my first tattoo, I forget what they were charging exactly. I do have the receipt, but in total, I think it came up to like 400 and something, 450, 400 and something around there, right? Between 400 and 450. And the second one, which is, I guess, slightly smaller, but at the same time, in certain parts, there are more details. It's kind of hard to say, but they're pretty similar in size. It just kind of the shape is very different. And I got that in London. I think the price is actually very similar per hour, except now the place in Vancouver, most of the artists there, including the one I got my first tattoo with, the price went up quite a bit. But over here, it's still 150 per hour, whereas there is like 200 per hour now. So that's actually a massive difference. But
Yeah.
it ended up coming up to like 300 and something. It's under 400, this new one I got. And this one actually took
That's pretty
only
good.
just over 2 hours. In terms of actual tattoo time, it was just over 2 hours. But obviously with stencil, with just little things like that, placement and making sure everything's right. When the tattoo is ended, like make sure it's fine before they wrap it up, right? So I was essentially just yeah. So it was I was charged for the 3 hours, which is totally fair for a tattoo of that size. Because that could have definitely taken longer if I hadn't been still, if I had to take breaks. Because I didn't take any breaks, right? Even the first tattoo I got, I didn't really take breaks. I took one break very briefly, because what you don't realize with tattooing is that even if the tattooing part doesn't, if you're not too bothered by that, some of the positions you have to be in for how long you have to be in is very sore. And for the first one, I had to take a break because it was on my hip, right? Essentially on the side of my ass cheek, right? It's upper thigh / hip / ass cheek, that region, however you want to describe it. But I was lying on the other side, right? And my hip bone, after like, I don't know, halfway through, just over halfway through of that, yeah, I was just like, oh my goodness, just needed a break. And then I put a pillow there, and then the rest of the way it was fine. Just a small break and a pillow added for cushioning, so the bone isn't against the seat. They're just having some more soft cushion there really helped. Yeah, the second one, they just the position I had, my arm was actually, my shoulder especially was pretty sore because it was on the side, so I had to bend that way the entire time. And yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not
So some
comfortable.
of those stuff, aren't very comfortable. In terms of actual tattooing, the places I got, generally speaking, people are say those are some of the most painful spots, right? In terms of the side with the rib, as well as the hip
Mm.
area, right? So when you look at where is the most painful, those are actually right up there, and it was fine for me. It felt sharp, is the way I would describe it. And I would say at moments it was uncomfortable. The actual pain level, like moments I would describe as painful, is pretty rare. Like I didn't feel like it hurt that much. It was uncomfortable sometimes and sharp the entire time. Like I said, that's the feeling I would describe it as. So I also know for other people it was really painful. So I guess people experience it differently, obviously, and people have different pain tolerances, and it's gonna differ from spot to spot as well. So that is another aspect to consider.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like I feel like like it really depends on how long the tattoo is gonna take.
Hmm.
Because I know my friend, he's trying to sit through a whole I think like 12 hours to 15 hours for because he's the one who was like, yo bro, like they actually gave me a mad discount for sitting still, like on top of like the the actual price for the time. I'm
Damn,
pretty sure they knocked it off like $80.
Oh wow,
it's pretty
Yeah,
good. It's pretty good. Yeah.
yeah. So like but then he's like, bro, like this, because he wants to get like a sleeve, right? Like
Uh
a
huh.
big, like not like a
Mhm.
sleeve, but like a big tattoo.
Uh huh.
To start out the sleeve,
Okay.
like a half sleeve. So I don't know, man. Cause he sat through like the first one, which was like 4 hours. His second one, which is like 6 hours.
Hmm.
And then he's like, bro, all right, I'll sit through like 12 to 15
Yeah. No.
hours. I was like, dude,
Damn,
that's
46
fucked.
hours, like it's not that
that's actually
bad.
kind of nice.
Like that doesn't sound that bad. Like the first tattoo I got, I sat through 4 hours. I was only charged for 3, I think, um,
Mhm.
which was really nice. But I was there getting tattooed for essentially 4 hours, and the second one, like I said, it was 2 and something hours, and neither of them were that bad. And for up to 6 hours, that seems manageable. But like 12, it's literally double the time
Yeah.
of that. Like that's only it's 12 to 15. So like that's insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. Like I feel like some artists aren't even gonna do it in a single setting. Like they're not willing to be tattooing for that long. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Bruh, yeah. Because originally, like, we were like, oh shit. Because he was like, bro, I'm gonna do it. And we were kind of just like, bro, like, you do realize that's a lot of hours.
it's
That's
a
like
lot of
half the day
hours. Yeah.
or more
that is a
than
long
half the
time.
day. He was like, I don't care. I'll do it. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. Let me know how it goes. But yeah, man. I don't know. Kind of I guess like kind of looking forward to seeing like how he does with
Mhm.
it. Um, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Another thing like I've always wondered is like after getting tattooed, does it affect like what you do? So like, can you shower normally?
Like just after tattoo.
Like,
So after tattoo, they're gonna
yeah,
wrap it up. I think there's actually several ways of doing it, but it doesn't really matter how they do it. You're gonna be able to shower no problem with that wrap on. Yeah, and depending on which method they use, you take it off within after 24 or like 48 hours usually, depending on which one they use. And then from there, yeah, you can still shower, like for sure, but like you're supposed to use
Okay.
like the proper antibacterial soap 2 or 3 times a day, and then afterwards supposed to properly pat dry it, don't like rub it, right? And then you're supposed to put moisturizer on it. Just some very basic
Yeah.
tattoo care. You're not supposed to go swimming, for example, or just let it interact with the elements like that. Like you don't want to be getting the sand on it, dirt on it, and that type of stuff. I would say that the first few days, depending on where you get it, it might not be the best idea to work out. Also, depending on how hard you work out and what exercise you do, just in terms of stretching, right? That I would say that's the main part, and the secondly is sweating. You don't want to be sweating too much right away, but then after a few days, depending on how it is, it's not bad. You're able to do that. It just the first 2 weeks of healing is the most essential, so you definitely want to be doing the antibacterial cleansing as well as a moisturizing and just general care of it. And after that, like I would say, within the first month, probably don't go swimming or do stuff that's really gonna just put the elements on it, right? Have actual contact with stuff like that, because if it's not fully healed, it could get infections and all that. And also, depending on the material it's interacting with early on, like that, it could affect the way it looks, right? And that's not what you want either.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I don't think it really affects what you do that much, right? So in terms of basic day-to-day life, it's not going to affect you that much, and it's not going to affect you for very long. It's just like if you're actually gonna swim very regularly, then like for like a month or even a bit longer than that, you're not gonna be able to do that. And if you're gonna be at the beach all the time, it might not be the best idea either. So it's just stuff like that's kind of more a problem with.
Okay. So it's recommended for you to not swim for like up to a month,
Uh,
or
or up to 2 months, to be honest. It says usually people would say a month to 2 months. Don't be swimming. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because you don't know what's in the water, right?
Because
Mm-hmm.
salt.
I mean, yeah,
And
salt,
what-
but
oh,
also pool. Bacteria, chlorine, chemicals, just different things that could
Yeah.
affect
Yeah, I don't
with
want
the
that.
healing process, with the way the ink really settles in, as well as the potential for infection. So different reasons, all telling you that hey, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, because originally I wanted to do it this summer,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe near the end
Yeah.
instead, since yeah, we shall see. But I don't know. I've been planning to get this tattoo for years now,
Mm-hmm.
ever since like high school. But I just been waiting, you know, trying to see if I ever want to change it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't, like I just don't change it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like tiny aspects of it, but then like it's the same. So I don't know. I think I'll probably get it sometime this year.
I think a huge
Or
part of
next year.
it is really just finding the right artist and having a conversation about it and making sure that they understand what you're wanting, right? I feel like that's a huge thing. And
Yeah.
depending on the artist, it takes a while sometimes because if they're wanted and they're busy, sometimes it takes a while for them to have an opening.
Yeah.
Like even when you look at websites or I don't know Instagram or just different ways of finding these artists. They'll say, closed for whatever, right? Like they're just fully booked. So some people aren't even taking like consultation appointments because they're just full for a while. Um, yeah, so yeah, you definitely want to be, if you're wanting to get a tattoo at a certain point, it's always a good idea to find the artist and talk with them about it and have that consultation at least first.
Yeah, because I feel like majority of my questions probably be answered, and like majority of my concerns for getting one is probably just gonna be answered, or you know, probably gonna go away after I speak to the artist or one of them, and yeah, I feel like it'll be comforting to like know like, because also like I'm open to design changes, right? I'm not like, oh,
So Raymond, you're open to design change?
yeah, like I wouldn't mind having the artist maybe like suggest like a better design or what he thinks, or she, you know, no sexism. But yeah, no, I wouldn't mind having the artist kind of refer to like a different design or like what they think it'll be like better, because they know how tattoos work the most, right? And like how they look the best. So
yeah, especially when you're talking about the idea, the concept of it, and where you want it on the body. Sometimes, like just from their experience, as well as having just creativity and their skills, they're able to come up with stuff that just kind of fit better based on those elements, right? And obviously, when you
Yeah.
have references to different, and you could point out which exact elements that you want the most, and what you really like about it, they're able to use that and create something that makes the most sense for you, right? So no, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of the same idea as like going to a barber shop and just say surprise me. Like I've done that a few times. Um, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice because like you get them to like do what they think will look good and like what they like a design they want, right? And then you could see like, oh, maybe next time I'll get the same one, or like, oh, next time, I'll look for something similar, or you just absolutely hate it,
Yeah.
and then next time you never ever get it again,
Yeah.
which I've had that happen. But yeah, so I kind of want that to happen. Not that I'll regret it, but like I want like a nice clean design. Maybe like there's suggestions and like saying, oh, you know what, like this will look a lot better if you did this. I'm like, okay, let's do that. And yeah, I don't know, because my end goal is to have like a semi sleeve. Like it's not like super covered, but there's like tattoos like all like going down my arm,
Okay.
and then like just like my chest, and that's kind of it. Like I don't really mind the imbalance of like all like you only have tattoos like this side, because I feel like that's all right. Like like I feel like, yeah, I feel like because for me, like I don't really want to like cover both my arms. I think I would enjoy just one sleeve. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. And maybe like, yeah, no, that's kind of it. I don't
Okay.
really want anything like on the back. Maybe a maybe like on my scapula or like around that area. But that's the most I'll get. But yeah,
Okay. Well, Lorenzo,
like,
do you have any ideas? Like, what were
Yeah.
your thoughts on, like, oh, I imagine all the tattoos I will have, like not so much the first one. So I just assume that maybe you have some ideas on what you might like.
Yeah. I mean, just a whole bunch of script, honestly.
Really?
Like I don't know. Like I'm really torn between just getting as much script as possible and like some crazy shit where it's like a whole body just covered in script,
Damn.
or having a more like a more kind of conservative pattern with like I don't know. Hold on. God, hold on. This is bothering me now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up this one character. She's got some tattoos that I kind of fancy.
Just Red Lorenzo.
Hold on a second.
Repeatedly on your body.
But like different fonts each time.
Over and over and over again. Star Wars. Fuck, what's that? What's that one Star Wars game called already? You know that one
The
Star
Old
Wars
Republic.
game?
Force Unleashed.
Nah, not that one. Not that one.
Force Unleashed?
Oh, that's
Nah,
big.
not that
What?
one. Not that one. The one that Respawn
Lego
made.
Star Wars.
The Respawn. No, not Lego Star Wars.
Respawn
Respawn.
made one? Yeah, the Old Republic. Well, they rebooted it.
Yeah. No, not the Old Republic. What?
Battlefront?
Which one call it with?
Oh, Fallen Order.
No, not Battlefront.
Okay.
Yeah, Fallen Order.
Man, I never realized
on a
there's so
second.
many Star Wars
There's one
games.
character that
What?
got some dope tattoos and that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Well, why don't you describe it?
Fuck, hold on. What a second.
Do you know the
It's
character
like a
name?
bunch of lines and shit, and it looks dope. That's what I'm trying to find. Hold on. But yeah, it's like a bunch of lines and shit, and like it looks like cult like almost.
Damn.
All right.
Oh yeah, Terran Malicos. Like I want something like Terran Malicos, but a bit thicker. Hold on, let me pull it up.
So you're into kind of
Maybe
more
that same sort of I don't know, same sort of style.
geometric.
A bit thicker. Yeah, sort of like Terra Malicos. He only has like one tiny, and I think in the game it's more like scarification than a tattoo, but I just like that design. And then like something like that, but across the entire body. Like is your chest, his chest there at all? Yeah, you just look at that. Come on, it's too clean.
Okay.
Or something along that
Okay.
same line
So
of
just
thinking.
I guess
I
pretty
just think
simple
across the
design,
whole body.
geometric and pattern and that type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I
And
would have
then,
thought maybe
I
some
don't know. Try
actual
to
like,
squeeze some script in there or something.
yeah. It's a very different approach, very different style.
Nah,
That's-
I like it
that's
when
for
it,
sure.
I like the simple designs. Yeah.
For me, I think I've told Raymond this before. I think on the other episode, and we might have had a conversation about this a long time ago, Lorenzo. But when it comes to placement of tattoos, like I always know that I don't want to get it anywhere that I am always seeing, and I also know that I don't want to get it somewhere that I need a mirror to see. I want it somewhere that I'm not gonna see unless I want to see it. But if I do want to see it, I can very easily see it without a mirror, right? So like for me, it's very difficult for me to be okay with getting tattoos on my arms, for example, because they're always there, right? I'm always seeing them. And because how often I'm shirtless, like I don't even feel comfortable getting it on my chest, right? But then also places like my back, which is a very popular place where we get tattoos, especially big pieces. Like I wouldn't do that because like I can't see that myself. Like you know, so I would need a mirror to do it. So that is not appealing to me, right? So like, what are your thoughts on the placement? That's kind of the first question I'll ask. I guess there's that other one.
Yeah. I don't know. Personally, it's almost opposite for me. I'd want to get the tattoos so that I can see them. And I want to get the script or whatever script I would get. It would probably be something I'd want to remember, obviously. So I'd want it to be easily accessible. So I don't know, like I want it, like the place that I would want to get it without having to consider any sort of extraneous social pressures would be my forearms. just because I feel like it'd be easiest to see at all times. But I feel like that's probably not the best place to start. Probably work from the inside out.
Well, plenty of people start with their forearms.
That's kind of my philosophy on that.
Some people only get a
Oh
tattoo
yeah, no,
on their
I
forearm.
get that, but I feel like I'd want to get. I feel like I'd want to start with something that's a bit more easily concealable, something I can conceal while I'm wearing a t-shirt at first, and then eventually creep out from there. Yeah.
Just wear a big t-shirt. Like, I don't know.
Just wear a turtleneck everywhere,
That's
bro.
the thing.
Just wear a big t-shirt. Okay.
A neck tattoo. Bro, that's the thing. Like,
Bruh.
I'm always worried, like, bro, if I get a tattoo, like, everyone's gonna see it, right? And I don't really want my
Like, they're gonna
family
turn
to
you away
always
from all the
constantly
hot
look at
springs
it,
in
because I
Japan,
know
bro. It's like
they hate that. Bruh.
yeah.
So, I don't know. Because if I want it on my arm, bro, like, I gotta wear a big t-shirt or just, like, long sleeves, which I don't like long sleeves.
You're wearing
For
a long
shirts.
sleeve.
Well, it's a sweater. Like I'm saying for shirts, shirts wise, like especially during summer, right?
That's true.
Like,
Yeah,
bro,
no, I see
who
that.
wears a long sleeve shirt for summer? But
Nobody, bro.
so like, yeah. But also, okay, yeah, like what you said, George, I kind of like. I don't want to get anything big on my back, like maybe something that connects to like a tattoo, like on the arm or something. But I really like. I don't see a point in getting a tattoo I'm not gonna be able to see, because the whole purpose for it is so like whenever I want, like I could just see my tattoo.
Yeah.
Because like so like I think that's why I don't really want anything like super big on the back, or yeah. But like at the same time, a back tattoo would also be sick. But
Yeah.
I guess it's just like
You
the
ever
idea
seen-
of it, right?
Yeah. But I feel like it ties like if you're going for like because that's the other thing too. Like I think when I think of tattoos, I always think of like the bigger picture and like how all the tattoos together would look. Versus a lot of people who just get like individual tattoos, like oh this one here, this one's for my mom. Oh yeah, this one's for me third cat. They're all like just random tattoos, disjointed, without like. So oftentimes they'll just like put nice tattoo here, nice tattoo here, but like together. It's not that they look bad, but they just don't complement each other particularly. They're just two good tattoos in just two random spots, which is fine if you want to do that. But one of the reasons why I want to get like the script or the kind of like weird, like geometric, like almost also like Hidan from the Akatsuki, bro, when he would go sicko mode.
Yeah.
You guys remember him? He got all these weird tattoos all over his body. They kind of look in the shape of bones, kind of like that vibe, but mixed with like that dude from Star Wars I just showed. Like man, that goes so hard, and for that, I think you need to just think about more like holistically. Like okay, these lines are symmetrical here and here. These lines are symmetrical here, you know what I mean? And then for that, I would just the back. You gotta do the back. It's too dope.
So that actually leads me to the other thing I wanted to ask you. So one of them is like, well, that idea definitely seems like you will want a lot of tattoos to begin with. And that also seems like a huge focus on it is the aesthetics, right? So the question becomes,
yeah, exactly.
When it comes to tattoos, how important is the meaning of the tattoo compared to the aesthetic? Like, how would you weigh it? Because from my conversation with Daniel, he's a believer that tattoos should have at least a decent bit of meaning, and it shouldn't just be aesthetics.
Yeah.
But then there are also people who just love the way certain things look, and they want that to be on their body and think will look really good on their body. And I'm you know, I'm okay with both. I
Yeah.
don't really have any prejudice against any school of thought when it comes to that. And for me personally, I definitely want the tattoo to have story behind them. So they're more representations of stories, and the stories themselves feel meaningful as opposed to the tattoo itself, right? And then the way it looks is also huge, right? Because definitely wanted to look a certain way. Wouldn't, the aesthetic aspect is very important to me. So that's kind of my outlook on it. But what about yours?
Yeah, I think either or works, either aesthetics or meaning. But then both, I think, is that's the best if you get both best of both worlds in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think aesthetically, I want the tattoo to look good,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't have all my tattoos to have meaning behind them,
Mm-hmm.
or like a very deep, like sad or like crazy like meaning. Because I feel like a lot of people they they're like, oh man, like something big has to happen. So like I have the story, for oh
Go ahead.
he gone. Yeah, no, I feel like some people they feel like the need to have something big happen in order to like get the tattoo, and then what they wait and wait and wait, and by the time like something actually happens, like they've gotten like five other tattoos already.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I feel like I feel like the ones with meaning will come,
Yeah.
like over time, but as like the first few ones, I don't think for me like meaning's like incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
And also like maybe just ones with like little meaning. So like somewhat correlates. Um but like there's nothing too deep behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean like I want like a jellyfish from SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
Like like the little cute ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want like a tiny like version of it. And that doesn't really have any meaning. I just like it.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's cute. Also, I like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of.
No.
I feel like people overthink about the meaning, and then like once you have the meaning, you have to like find the perfect like like tattoo, like the artwork to go with
Mm-hmm.
the meaning. And I feel like at that point, like you're just waiting for. I don't know. I don't know. Not big fan of it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah. No, that's totally
What
makes
about
sense.
you, George?
Well, for me, like I
What
said,
about
I
you,
don't I
George?
don't have a major I don't have anything against any of the different ways of looking at it. Personally, um, like I mentioned right at the beginning, aesthetic definitely is important, but at the same time, for my tattoos, they are kind of symbols of stories, and the story themselves have meaning, and there's certain aspects of the stories that I like, right? So with my first tattoo, it is a portrait of Albert Camus, but without a face, and instead of the face, it is a depiction of Sisyphus pushing the boulder, right? So that ties in a lot of Albert's work, right? So there's a lot with his philosophy and his works, and what that means to me. And also, it's a very interesting depiction in the sense of like a person without a face is kind of how a lot of people visualize the outsider or the stranger, depending on which way you want to translate it. And then obviously the myth of Sisyphus is a huge work, very important work in philosophy overall, not just from him, right? And so having that there as well. So that's two of his most famous works. And it's also an iconic picture of him. And all of these things, are symbols for their respective stories. And all those stories have a lot to them. And to me, there's definitely meaning there, right? I definitely feel like some of them are meaningful to me, right? And then with the new tattoo I got, it's literally from Greek mythology, right? It's very, very obviously tied into what the story means. And there's a lot I like about the story, starting from the innovation, the creativity, and the spirit of not giving up of his father to create those wings in the first place for them to escape, right? And then I obviously like the the idea of not being complacent, and then at the same time the lesson on hubris, and most importantly, when you look at both of them, the message of balance, right? All these different aspects to it, and also a huge thing is understanding your own mortality, and not feel like you are invincible, that you are a god, right? That's the other aspect of it I really like. So the stories themselves have meaning to me, and the tattoos are symbols of those stories. And aesthetically, I love the way they look, and also like how they tie in to each other with the Greek mythology theme, right? So for me, it is definitely a bit of both, right? It's just ideas that's reflective of the way I think and the way I live my life based on the stories, right? There's stuff I really like about that, but at the same time, it's not deeply personal from my own experience, and stuff that happened, or stuff like that, right? It's just ideas that I resonate with, ideas that's very much in touch with my own outlook. And then aesthetically, obviously, that is a huge part for me, just to mention that once more.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And the thing is, like,
I guess like when I
I was just gonna say that, like, the script idea never interested me, because I like more symbolism. I like stuff that isn't just written out, right? So for me, there are great quotes from both of the stories. From all the stories are tied into the symbolism of the tattoos I have, right? And some of those quotes I absolutely love. But instead of having those scripts come out by itself, I prefer to have an image of it that, to me, one of the things I think of when I look at it is some of those quotes, some of those those phrasing and those words of those to convey those ideas, right? So that's the way I look at it. But aesthetically, I think scripts are amazing. I have definitely thought about before. I know I would never do this, but the idea of it is definitely really cool. And that is to get my own name tattooed on my chest in script. That idea is always very interesting to me, and I think aesthetically it will look amazing. But I also know that's something I would never do.
Damn.
That's pretty funny.
That will look
That's pretty
sick.
good.
That will look sick. Come on. It's like
big?
Michael Chandler
Yeah.
with his
doubt it.
blessed tattoo, but your name instead.
Bruh, and like how big of letters?
Pretty big. It's just on one side of your chest. It's just across, like
Big ass blocky.
that
George.
much. Just across.
Oh, so just George?
Yeah, in some fancy font. I think that will look sick. But like I said, I would never do
Your
that.
Like a
Comic
name tag?
Sans.
Almost like a name tag, but it wouldn't be in a name tag font, right?
Right.
It would be something, more, I don't know, you would find in some romantic
Bro,
painting, maybe something of that font, old school handwriting type thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna go for
I
big
think,
blocky letters, bro.
yeah, bruh.
Oh no, uploading 24%. It's gonna take forever later. Holy moly.
Yeah, and don't forget the other ones are slightly, they're not completely uploaded either. I'm sure the disconnect to
Yeah,
really,
no, definitely not.
be tripping you up. Yeah, but the
That's
last
good.
thing I
Yes,
guess I
sir,
wanted
dude.
to bring up when it comes to tattoos is kind of when people get tattoos, right? The last thing is that because there's a few things I've noticed. One, professional athletes, when they go pro and soon after they go pro or right before they go pro, like tend to get tattoos. That's a very common thing. Other thing that tends to happen is people who have lost someone, right? A lot of people like to get tattoos to honor them almost, either dates or actual designs, or quotes, just were straight up their name, and often their name with the date, sometimes their name with the date and the design, right? Different ways of doing it for sure.
And the face.
Yeah, the face one is actually more prevalent than I thought when I started looking at it. Like, it's like, oh wow, okay. uh, Damn. But yeah, there are just these certain moments when people
That's
get
a little much
tattoos,
for
and
me.
it's interesting. I think culturally speaking, right? Because part of the professional athletes one is kind of like a brotherhood type of thing. It's kind of like a warrior culture kind of thing. Looking at Vikings, looking at samurai, right? Looking at the various indigenous, especially the Pacific Islanders, Polynesian ones, right? The tribal tattoos, right? So the different styles of tattoo that are associated with the various warrior cultures, it definitely feel like in terms of philosophy and the culture of professional athletes getting tattoos, that really ties into it. So that's one thing I notice.
Yeah. I feel like it's also like
I too have noticed this.
they're like on a high. I feel I'm like, oh shit, about to go pro. Fuck, like this is a big moment in my life. You know, so fuck it. I'm about to get a tattoo symbolizing this and all the work I put in and all that, right?
Mhm.
And it's like I feel like it's more like kind of like that type of sense. Because if they really wanted just a tattoo, they would have gotten it a while back. Like what's holding them back? Maybe the money. But if you're already like you're basically going pro, like you would have made money before too. But I feel like it's also like like having that much adrenaline, like that type of mindset before going pro. I feel like it's very like fuck it, I'll worry about this later type of like mindset. And they ever want it removed, they have the money to. It doesn't really matter what they get, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I think the other part
it's
of
pretty
it
cool though.
is just some people trying to look less vanilla, trying to look maybe with more character and more tough, or just try to express their own personality more.
Yeah,
Now that there's more
stand
spotlight
out,
on
differentiate
them,
themselves a bit.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's almost like branding for them outside their sport, and also develop a certain reputation from their competitors or their teammates, right? So there's aspect of how they kind of want the people they play against and play with to see them, and also their overall public image in terms of you know even brand deals and just media and all of that. So part of it is like a business move, and part of it is also like almost in terms of like quality of play, right? Like they want to get the street cred almost in that sense. So I think there are a lot of different aspects that go into it, but it's just interesting to point out, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it if we're gonna have an episode on tattoo. And then the other one that I brought up was people getting tattoos of lost loved ones and people who were meaningful in their lives, right?
Yeah. I don't mind that. I just don't like the face tattoos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly. Same. They're alright.
like yeah, like
But
I feel like
tattoos, shit's garbage.
yeah. Like I feel like if I've lost someone, I don't want to constantly be reminded about that 24/7.
Yeah.
Especially
Nah,
if
I mean, I don't know. I kind of get that though, because like, nah, for me, it's almost like the opposite too. Because like, I remember when my dog Coffee died. Like, I was wondering, I'm like, dude, how many memories have I already forgotten? You know, like just permanently. I'm just not gonna think about them ever again with Coffee, right? So I'm like, oh, I want to remember as much as possible. You know, because then another 5 years, how little am I gonna remember then? And then another 5, and then another 5, and then like by the time I have kids, it's like, you know, it's gonna be like, I don't know, childhood dog, almost not totally forgotten. Obviously, I'm always gonna remember him, but like, how many memories am I just gone to the ether?
Now, when you have a tattoo on you,
So I don't know. I feel like
that.
getting tattoos to kind of like commemorate.
For sure, and it's like they're always with you in a sense, right?
Yeah, like it would just help you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I feel like dog I get, but for a person, I don't know.
For cats, no.
For fish, bro. For fish.
Yeah, for fish, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just wouldn't like the idea of like a face tattoo of them. I think remembering them is fine, and you know, like knowing them, you know, like the name, you know, maybe like a symbol that represents them, you know, something they really enjoyed or something like that. Like let's say they really like to go sailing, you know, you do like the typical like maybe a tiny sailboat or like the wheel, the boat wheel or something. But I wouldn't have their face.
You get a boat wheel? Hell no, dude. No fucking shot, dude. What is this?
But
like
1920s, bro.
Anchor, dude.
For your description, Lorenzo, it seems you have a very specific style that you're into. So it totally makes sense why you wouldn't like something like that.
Yeah.
So how about
boat wheel?
How about this? You get a tattoo. You get tattoos of everyone you've ever dated, their face, their name, and when you've dated them for.
Oh my god!
It's like a high school. What do you call it? Those you know, when they put up those photos. Yeah, that type of stuff.
Oh.
That would be pretty hilarious.
Bro.
Man.
That would be.
Man. Oh. Face tattoo as well.
Yeah.
That's just
so gross.
That's a punishment and a half, bro. That's fucked.
It really is.
Bro,
Holy.
imagine meeting someone new and be like, alright, I'll add you to the collection.
There's no end date yet. What about tattoos of babies? You know, because people do that as well.
Ooh.
That's pretty weird too, right?
Bro, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Bro, babies are gross.
George, you're gonna make me throw up.
Oh my god.
George, you're gonna make me throw up right now, bro. Holy
Dude,
so
Dude, they're so
no,
wrinkly,
no.
man. Like freshborn babies, or like just babies in general.
That's
Freshborn?
just babies, I guess.
Freshborn.
Nah, that ain't it,
Yeah.
man.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, I think generally
it's kinda
speaking,
weird.
when it comes to putting faces, it's just a little bit weird no matter how they go about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I feel like a small design, like like a small like picture frame type of
Mhm.
style, and like where the face is like maybe like it's like a picture of you and like a family, right? Family, or like you and a friend, boom, and like I feel like that'd be pretty chill because it's small enough. Plus the face is smaller than the actual tattoo,
Mm.
like the whole tattoo. So like that'd be pretty chill.
How would they be able to do the details then?
But
That'd be tough.
oh, bro, you'd be surprised. Yeah. Some tattoo artists, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Or like the simplified version, I'd
Mhm.
say. You've seen like the simplified version of ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like those are pretty nice. I kind of want one, but yeah, like I feel like that's fine.
hmm
But the big tattoo, bro, you gonna get a tattoo of someone's face, man? Like
Yeah.
if the person, chances are the person who wants to get a face tattoo of someone is also the person to get it big.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, not it.
Well, what about like people who get like famous people, either like celebrities
Okay.
or like famous historical figures,
Nah, that's
like
really weird.
like people
That's
who get
really
like
weird.
Nelson
No.
Mandela tattoos.
Oh, famous historical figures, that's not too bad.
But like modern day like celebrities
Nelson Mandela,
is not it.
nah, I don't know. If it's anybody
Like
recent,
Nelson
it's not the
Mandela,
wave.
he
Hmm.
stands for something, but like
He died
bro,
too
imagine like
recently,
a
it's
Justin
weird.
Bieber tattoo.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
people
bro.
get like
No, people,
you
I
know,
don't have to imagine it. I've seen it. Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr.,
Yeah.
Malcolm X, just people like that.
It's still face tattoos, which I really don't like.
People get Kobe tattoos since especially since he after
Yeah.
his passing.
Some people's got
Yep.
botched Kobe tattoos.
That's the other thing. Like when you botch a face tattoo, it's so bad. With other stuff, is not necessarily as bad. It's also much easier to cover up or change. But if you're gonna botch your face tattoo, it's like what are you gonna do then? Like you can only remove it or cover the whole thing somehow. Like you can't just change it slightly. Like.
Oh, no.
That's rough. That's rough.
I love that natural
Especially if you're trying
transition.
to,
Some
like-
people have Kobe tattoos. Yeah, some people have fucking
Oh,
botched
no.
Kobe tattoos. Oh,
The worst
man,
part, they're
it's
trying
so
to commemorate them, but that's like a messed up face on them. It's like everything you tried to do has failed. The message is like ruined.
Oh my god.
It's like that fucking Cristiano Ronaldo sculpture,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like, man, this
Oh,
is
man.
disrespectful. Like,
Yeah. Bro, I like the ones that kind of look
Oh, it's
derpy.
so funny.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, no type. Yeah.
Oh man. Bro, man, fuck.
Already.
Yeah. But yeah, on that note, let's finish episode with the highlights of the week. Anyone?
Highlight of the week.
I'm filming the podcast
What?
yesterday, and then suggesting to do. Yeah, my highlight of the week is
Wait, what?
waking up at 6:30 on Thursday, and then suggesting we do it 6:30 on Friday. I forgot all about it. I went to sleep.
What
at
is your
4.
highlight?
I went to sleep at fucking 5, bro. fucking remember it's from fucking yesterday, bro, when I decided to fucking play myself when I suggested you do this thing.
Bro.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Yeah, you keep cutting out. We don't know what you're saying.
Every time you start a sentence, you cut out.
Please go ahead and repeat yourself, please.
Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, I think that was a no.
Okay.
Wait.
Alright.
Yo, boys, can you guys hear me okay?
So,
Am I still cutting out or no?
yeah.
It's better now.
Okay, you're good.
It's better now? Okay, let's try this. My highlight of the week is
It's only when he starts talking.
Well, Raymond, what about you? What's your highlight?
Bro, my highlight of the week is Lorenzo not being able to talk.
I'm sure it's being recorded. But we can't hear him. We have no idea what he was trying to say. He keeps cutting out. So
No. Oh wait, no.
it's pretty hilarious.
Right then I just stopped because of the ambulance or whatever, or the sirens.
Every time
man.
he's oh
Well,
no, we hear the sirens too.
my highlight, I guess, has to be a couple things. One, the Red Hot Chili Peppers album, the new one came out, Unlimited Love, incredible, legitimately might be my favorite album of theirs. And they've been releasing music since late 70s, it's early 80s. It's ridiculous that they're able to drop something this good.
Oh wow.
Like 40 plus years into their career. It's also their first album with Frusciante back, so that's pretty incredible. Nothing against Josh. Josh was incredible as well, but there's a certain other thing to Frusciante's play and what he's able to add to the band. Just an incredible album. Really enjoy listening to it. And then I would also say that just happy that school is essentially finished. Pretty much just have to do one online final exam that's multiple choice, have to do one take-home exam, and then one that I actually have to show up to in person. And the only one that's actually going to take quite a bit of work is the take-home exam. So yeah, school is essentially done. Just have to finish out the final few things in the next few weeks, and that is definitely a highlight. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's a great conversation about tattoos, about what we're into, about our thoughts on these different aspects of tattoos, and some interesting stuff, culturally speaking, that we pointed out. And yeah, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with that other episode of the Voice Podcast.
Wait.
What?
Yo, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
What about
It was
Lawrence?
good.
What's
Yeah,
your
can you hear me?
highlight of the week?
Wait. Can you guys hear me now? Wait, can you guys hear me now? I don't know.
You don't get a highlight of the week. All you get is bullying. Oh my god.
All right. That's
Okay.
it. All right. See ya, guys.
Um,